PM show nationwide, coast to coast. I'm Michael Horn. It's the PM show, year-end edition, ladies and gentlemen, and this is week 17 of the NFL. A weird weekend, yes, I know. New Year's Eve, Saturday, Sunday, New Year's Day, no bowl games, no Rose Parade, but lots of great football for you, ladies and gentlemen. Week 17, and then Monday, that's when they're going to have the Rose Parade and the bowl games. Should be a lot of fun. Should be great. Now, we got some great, ladies and gentlemen, we have great people here. We had Jimmy Mack, the world's all-time great handicapper, who lost last week. Fred Dreyer and Eric Joseph and I tied, and Jimmy Mack lost by just one pick. But, you know, as you get down to the end, when the boys and the men are separated, ladies and gentlemen, that's when it gets down to it. And then we got Fred Dreyer, the great Fred Dreyer, who is a superstar in his own right. He's a great actor, a former NFL great, ladies and gentlemen, the great defensive end, and an aficionado, if I may add myself, an aficionado of the great baseball pitcher Fred Kipp, who used to pitch for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah, can you click them in there, Eric? I don't think they can hear me there, so make sure you punch them in.
You and I, Fred.
No, it's not. We got you now. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Let me put them on hold again and then re-punch them in. We seem to be having problems with that, checking the switches in there, don't we there, Eric? Oh. All right, now we'll go to our great, ladies and gentlemen, aficionados, the great Jimmy Mack and Fred Dreyer, who were shouting hello before. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How you doing, guys?
It's great, and welcome to the show, gentlemen. This is week 17. This is, I believe, this is when it all comes right down to the basics here. And this is a weird week, gentlemen, because some of these players, some of these teams have nothing to play for, and there's some weird point discrepancy. So are we ready to tackle this week and give the listeners the winners?
We sure are.
Let's get on with it.
All right, I like the way Dreyer just goes, let's get on with it. Here we go. We got Philadelphia's at home. 8.5-point favorites over Washington. We'll start with the great Fred Dreyer.
They're 8 points over Washington.
8.5-point favorites, Philadelphia over Washington. Now, if I can give you a little bit, Washington has lost one game. Philadelphia has won 3. You know, they got Vic back and all that stuff.
I must say, it's the last game of the season, and Washington's on the road. They're dreadful. I got to go with Vic. I think he's going to end it with a pretty good run, and they'll probably beat him by 8. I think they'll cover.
I'm agreeing with you, Fred Dreyer. Jimmy Mack, what's your thought on this game?
Definitely agreeing, because Rex Grossman has played well down the stretch, but he's terrible when it comes down to something that's important.
Okay, and Eric Joseph, who is not here, he's apparently just celebrating already on New Year's Eve, has picked Washington. Now we have this next game here, Atlanta at home, 11.5-point favorites over Tampa Bay, the great Jimmy Mack.
Well, look for Atlanta to rebound off his 29 road losses at Saints, but not enough. I think Tampa Bay is getting too many points. I'll take Tampa Bay, even they think like they're laying down. I just think Atlanta's not going to play that
Tampa Bay has lost 9 in a row, but again, we're talking points here. Atlanta's lost 1 game. A little better, a lot better defense for Atlanta. What do you think, Fred Dreyer? Are you agreeing with Jimmy Mack? You taking Tampa Bay?
Well, I'm going to say this. I think the station wagons in Tampa are packed. I think everybody's ready to blow out of there.
Yeah.
And I do think they're going to lay an egg. Atlanta has to play well. They're at home. They're comfortable, and if they're going to start to make a move, they got to do it now. So I'm going to give all these teams that are on the bubble to have to make a move. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think Atlanta wins and covers.
So you think they cover the 11.5? And I'm going to agree with you, Fred Dreyer, and Eric Joseph is going to agree with you, Jimmy Mack.
All right.
All right. Now we got San Francisco. San Francisco is on the road, ladies and gentlemen, and they're playing in St. Louis. Is this the 3,000-mile rule?
No, they're not that far.
All right, so we know where Jimmy Mack's going. So
2,700 miles.
So San Francisco is on the road, division rivalries now. They're 10.5-point favorites over the at-home St. Louis Rams, your former team, Fred Dreyer. So we'll go to you to break it down for us.
This is where the fans storm the field at halftime and drag Spagnuolo down to the river, tie an anchor in an old rowboat, and dump him in the Mississippi. This is going to be an evisceration, by the 49ers of the screwball outfit, and they're gonna rue the day they even moved into that dreadful barn they play in.
I take it you're going San Francisco to cover?
That's exactly correct.
That's what I was thinking. And Jimmy Mack.
Jimbo Harbaugh will wrap it up very strong.
All right, so you're with us. I'm a San Francisco as well. There you go. Eric Joseph is picking St. Louis. All right, now we move to this game here. This is a sort of a pick'em game. Minnesota against Chicago. Minnesota's at home, 1.5-point favorites. We have the great Eric Joseph going with Chicago. What do you think, Jimmy Mack?
I'm taking the Vikings because I just think they got to come through. They're home.
Fred Dreyer?
Yeah, I agree. It's Minnesota. It's really a toss of the coin, is what they're saying, and I give the Vikings the nod, and I think Chicago's done.
Well, Chicago has lost 5 games in a row. Minnesota has won 1 game. I'm still picking Chicago.
Both running backs are out for both teams.
All right, Green Bay, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this one now. Detroit on the road playing at Green Bay, all right? Detroit, 3-point favorites. Fred Dreyer.
Really?
Detroit, 3-point favorites over Green Bay at home for Green Bay.
At Green Bay, huh?
Yeah. What's going on here? Do we not know something, Jimmy Mack?
Yeah, here's what it is. Green Bay has already won home field throughout the playoffs, and they're going to be testing all their old. A lot of the starters are not going to play that long, and Detroit needs the win. So technically, you got to go with Detroit.
So you are picking Detroit.
Yes.
I'm picking Green Bay. What do you think, Fred Dreyer?
Well, you asked me, and I was getting ready to tell you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry we broke away from you there.
Let me know when you do that.
I'm sorry, Fred. Please, take all the time you need. Go ahead.
I can hold on to the back of the truck when you make a hard left.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Hey, go ahead, Fred.
Well, I'm going to think about it.
Are you going to think about it? Okay, Fred. Apparently, Fred insulted, ladies and gentlemen, that I went from his... I just wanted to see if Jimmy Mack knew anything about this, but we will come back to the great Fred Dreyer. We are breaking down Detroit, 3-point favorites against Green Bay, played at Green Bay, ladies and gentlemen. I believe this is the first time this season Green Bay has been an underdog.
That is true.
Serious handicapping here by the supposed experts. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. I'm Michael Horn. Eric Joseph, who did he pick on this one? I think he picked Detroit along with you, Jimmy Mack. We'll continue. So. I'm staying Green Bay. We'll be back.
Here's another